Hey guys, so I'm sorry I haven't uploaded a video in a while. I've been a little bit unwell, so that's why I disappeared for a bit, so I apologise. I'm sorry about all the mess behind me. I just thought, do you know what? I'm going to sit on the floor today, so that's what I'm doing. So whilst there's a lot of support on the internet for those who are being bullied, there's not so much support for the friends of the people who are being bullied. Whilst bullying is really difficult for the victim, I think it's really important still to have support for friends of victims of bullying, because when you don't know what to do, it can be pretty tough. I mean, you want to support your friends and sometimes you just feel like you don't know what's the best thing to do for them. So this is just some of my advice for those of you who may be wondering how to support your friend who is being bullied. What are the right things to say or do? Oh, my hearing's coming back in my ear. No, it's gone again. What are some of the wrong and right things to say or do and things like this? I'm in no way a professional, so this is just my personal advice. I have experienced bullying, so I guess I can kind of speak from personal experience. So the first thing is kind of obvious. It's that you want to offer your friend support, and I'm sure that's what you already are doing. The most important thing that somebody can ask from a friend when they're being bullied is just to know that you are there, to know that you're there for support and that you are someone to confide in, because a lot of people find it really helpful to be able to talk about what's going on. Let your friend know that he or she can trust you when they speak to you about what's happening. Let your friend talk to you as little and as much as they want. I know it can be frustrating when you're trying to help somebody and they won't talk to you about what's going on, but for some people, opening up about things like this can be really difficult, especially if people are bullying you for things that you're already ashamed of. Some people can find it quite hard to open up, and putting pressure on that person to speak about things that they're not quite ready to speak about is only going to add more stress to what they're going through. So whilst it's important to reassure your friend that they are not a burden on you, it's equally important for them to know that they can talk about as little as they want to as well without being pushed. Be sure to reassure the person that the things that the bullies say aren't quite fictional. When people are telling you bad things about yourself day in and day out, you can easily start to believe it. And something that's great in a friend is to have that person there just to remind you and reassure you that these people are just trying to feel better about themselves and the things they say about you aren't true, and that there are so many people who do care about the person. It can be a lonely time when you're being bullied, so just reminding the person that friends are there can mean the absolute world. Some of the things that you might think just sound pretty plain and simple can make a lot of difference, so never think that you're not providing enough support or enough help, because just reminding the person that you are there for them and that they do have a support network around them is just amazing to know. Whilst it's really helpful to be able to talk about what's going on, you also don't want to dwell on it too hard. If you're being bullied at school, for example, it's most of your everyday life, it's most of your week, so you can sometimes feel like you can't really escape from it. So whilst it's helpful to be able to talk about what's going on, there's no harm in distracting your friend's mind from what's happening to them at school or at home or online. Have a chat, do some things you like, listen to the music you like, do the things that you like to do together. It's great just to have that kind of escape from what's going on. And it's reassurance that there is another part of your life other than the bullying. It's not everything, although it feels like it sometimes. When you're being bullied, something that you can find quite challenging is to believe in yourself. So make sure that you encourage your friend. If they're ever uncertain about what they can achieve, encourage them, remind them that they are good enough, and just because things have started happening that aren't too good in their life doesn't mean that they are less able and that they are less worthy. Most importantly, if you feel like your friend is in need of some professional support, definitely encourage them to seek it. It doesn't mean that your support as a friend isn't enough, but sometimes having a quick chat with a counsellor or a professional, just so the person can learn to manage what's happening to them when it all starts to become a burden, can do absolute wonders, and it doesn't make your job as a friend any less helpful. If your friend doesn't want to seek support but you feel that they need to, just please remember not to push them too hard. If you do feel that your friend or somebody else is in danger of being hurt or hurting themselves, you have every right to intervene, especially as it's in the interest of their safety. If you are concerned, you can speak to a member of staff at your school or college, and I will list some helplines below as well. Remember that although it's important to look after your friends, it's also important to look after yourself. So make sure that as much as you're taking in, you're letting out in a healthy way. If you ever feel overwhelmed by giving somebody support, please talk to somebody around you, and just remember that you're doing a good job. As long as you're doing the best you can, that's all that anybody can ask from a friend. You can't wave a magic wand and just make the bullying stop, but as long as your friends know that you care about them and that you're there, it absolutely means the world, I promise you. If you found this video helpful at all, you can subscribe by clicking the subscribe button for regular videos that are made with you in mind, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care of yourself and have a lovely day.